Good afternoon. What a crowd. You guys must think there's going to be a great concert here or something this afternoon. Thank you all so much for coming out to Unity today. We do have an exciting afternoon planned for you. Of course, we have our wonderful organist here at Unity that's going to provide a concert today on our newly purchased organ that he will explain to you how it works and why it sounds so wonderful and all of that a little later. But we want to welcome our members. We want to welcome our visitors, family, friends, all those people that are here to support our church, to support this wonderful new instrument in our community, and to support Jeff, because I know many of you are here because you have followed him and you know what a wonderful musician he is. So the organ dedication will take place during the concert. That's what I want to emphasize most about this afternoon. We are here today to celebrate, to the glory of God, the purchase and the dedication of this amazing instrument that you're going to get to hear in just a little bit. The sounds that you're going to get to hear are some that you won't find anywhere else in Lincoln County. It is the largest organ in Lincoln County now, and we have a wonderful person that can show us exactly what all it can do, and you will hear all that today. You will hear the soft sounds, you will hear the loud sounds, so be ready. I'm just warning you. Fair. This is an organ concert, just letting you know. So you will see what this thing can do today. He is. I've come over many times. Jeff has practiced hours and hours and hours for this concert. I live just across the road, and every time I've come by here in the last month and a half, 2 months, his little silver car has been in the parking lot. So he has been over here diligently working on all the voicings, working on all the intricacies of the virtuosic stuff you'll hear him play. It's just going to be a great afternoon for you. It is my pleasure to say that we had wonderful support in this purchase. When we first started talking about this purchase, Jeff actually found this organ with Miller Piano. They had the organ and had it at a wonderful deal that we were able to get it to procure it with. It's unheard of. I couldn't believe it when he came to me. He said, "Listen, I've got this thing, and should I mention it or shouldn't I?" And I was like, for that money, let's mention it. So thank you so much. I know many of you sitting in the audience are people who gave money to this project and to the fund for the new organ. Thank you for supporting us and being so generous with your gifts. There's a number of people that went into the purchase of this. We painted it. It did not look like this when it came to us. It was different colors, and so we've painted it, and we've gone through that. And Jeff is going to share that with you in just a little bit. As he goes through some pictures, you'll get to see the process of getting this thing into the sanctuary and all that kind of stuff. So you'll get to see the workings and all of that in just a little bit. Also, I want you to know that this is the first of hopefully many concerts that we will be giving here at Unity. It won't always be an organ concert or a piano concert or a vocal concert, but when we purchased this, it was kind of an open door for us to consider later on having some other musical opportunities for our community, to reach out through our music ministry at Unity into the community and affect you guys as a community and bring you here to Unity, a great place where we hope that you'll feel free to come back and worship with us. We have worship services at 9:30 and 11. So visitors, if you love this space, if you love hearing this organ, if you love what Unity's doing, please feel free to join us for worship services at 9:30 and 11 on Sundays. We also, if you're a singer and you don't have a place to sing, we have choir rehearsals at 7 o'clock on Wednesdays. This is my plug, by the way. Shamefully, without shame. So if you're a singer and you don't have a place to sing, we'd love to have you. 7 o'clock on Wednesday night, 7 to 8:30. We have choir rehearsal right behind this wall. That's where the choir room is. You can enter from the side. And we would love to have you as a part of our choir who sings glory to God each and every Sunday morning here at Unity. I think that's all I was supposed to say and all that I'm going to say, because you're not here to hear me talk. You're here to hear Jeff Perks play. So without further ado, please welcome Mr. Jeff Perks, our Unity organist.
Tricia Lytle, the pastor here at Unity Presbyterian Church, and I echo the sentiments of Dustin Staney, our choir director, that we are so blessed to have you all here today. So blessed to have someone like Jeff that can bring this organ to life and bring such joy to our worship. And that is indeed what we're doing, is lifting up that worship and lifting up the glory of God as we dedicate this instrument. So I invite you to follow along with me on your screen to the litany of dedication as we bless this organ. Holy Lord, you alone can transform our clashing anguish and destruction into channels of harmony and rhythms of peace.
Transform us, O Lord.
You gave us the gift of music to transcend spoken language and turn our discord into pleasing melodies.
Transpose us, O Lord.
Reveal to us the voice of this noble instrument so that it may tell us of your power and your beauty.
Speak to us, O Lord.
May all who hear the music made in this place be lifted above shame, lifted above hypocrisy, anxiety, lifted above ridicule to vibrant aliveness and to the readiness to undertake tasks that seem too great to accomplish alone.
Empower us, O Lord.
May the music indeed in this place bring us together, aligning our many voices, thoughts, ideas, and backgrounds into one.
Unite us, O Lord.
Accept the gift of this organ to your use, O Lord, summoning your people to serve you with thanksgiving through Jesus Christ.
Gratify us, O Lord, through the words spoken here, the music offered here, and the inspiration we receive as we make this a place of worship for many years to come. Amen.
It is but an instrument, and you bring it alive. We thank you for that, and we praise God and those who made it possible, and we bless this beloved instrument today. Amen.
Welcome. I am so glad to see you here. And when I say that, I mean that literally. You get it, right? And I thought I was going to have to explain. This is a smart crowd. So, so those of you that were here 2 weeks ago know that we had to cancel because I had eye surgery. I went for what was supposed to be a simple cataract surgery and ended up with a detached retina. And they think it was because of the surgery that day. It puts pressure on your eye. So then I had to go back the next day and get a needle put in my eye and a gas bubble inserted. And I had to walk around like this for 5 days. So if you see me start sitting like this, you'll know it's just force of habit from what you saw. But I wanted to just kind of take you through. Well, first things first. Hey, Mom. Because my mom is watching on the internet. She was here 2 weeks ago and drove 5 hours to be here, and my sister's here today, and she came back again. She loves me twice as much as my mom, I guess. Uh-oh, that might be bad, right? But I just wanted to say hey to the people watching on the internet, and just thank you all for being here. I kept telling people I thought there was going to be 20 people here, and then I had done all this work for 20 people, so it really, really blesses my heart that you all are here. And I just want to thank Janine for helping move the slides before, and the people in the sound booth, and we'll talk more about that later. So I'm going to put on a different microphone, and then I'm going to give you all a short, hopefully short, organ lesson. You can talk, it's okay. Okay, can you hear me? No? Yeah? Am I on? Yes. You sure? Okay. I believe. So I just wanted to explain basically kind of what's going on here. This organ we purchased is an Allen organ, and the sounds that come with the Allen organ are built in the Allen organ, and they try to reproduce the sounds of a pipe organ, which you really can never do. There's this new thing called Hauptwerk, which is what this is. And Hauptwerk is hooked to a computer and so your organ literally is playing the Allen sounds. Am I going in and out? This is driving me crazy. Huh? Oh. Well, I can't really do this, but So, well, I hate you have to look at my back, but so the Hauptwerk actually plays through the organ. The organ, they went through these stops of this is the Hereford Cathedral that I'm playing on the screen that I'm seeing here, and I'll show you more of that in a few minutes. So I can actually reach up here and turn on some stops and push buttons from here, and I'll show you that. And that's just this play, and I can actually combine it with stops from here. So I just wanted to demonstrate the different tonal qualities that this organ and Hauptwerk brings to you. The Hauptwerk, like I said, they literally went through every stop, every note of every manual and recorded that note. So what happens is when I play a note here, I'm literally playing a small recording of that note. So that's why this sounds so much more like a pipe organ, and it has really helped our organ to sound better. So what you just heard would be the string family. Sounds, you know, similar to what you'd hear in a symphony. The strings a little bit different because it's, you know, on an organ, and it's organ pipes in a real pipe organ making that sound. So you've got those pretty sounds that you hear there. Then the ones that are really, okay, this is getting on the nerves. I want to show. Okay, are we okay? Okay. The next thing I wanted to show you was the sounds that are just specific to an organ, which would be like the principals or diapasons. They don't reproduce any other instrument. They are what makes an organ sound like an organ. They sound basically. Okay, so you got that. And also, all of if you come look at the organ later on, you'll see all of the stops have numbers on them. And that is specifically related to the size the pipe would be if this was a pipe organ. It tells me where at in the octaves they play. For example, if I play this 8-foot note right here, it plays what would be an 8-foot pipe. If I add a 4-foot to it, it goes up one more octave and adds that note to it. See if you can hear it. If I play a 2-foot, it adds another octave to that. So when I play one note, I'm playing 3 notes really. Okay, so when Dustin says the organ's loud, that's why, because one note can turn out to be about 15 different notes. So you get that. The pipes in a pipe organ go anywhere from 16 or 32 feet, depending on the size of that organ, to the size of a pencil, really small little pipes, and they would sound basically like this. Right? Up in the dog range, I call it. And they get lower to what I call the gassy organ range. So if I ever happen to lean over this way and you hear that, I just want to be clear. So in addition to that, the organ has the strings, the diapasons, and then there are reeds, which are my favorite. You'll hear me use a lot of different trumpet sounds, which there are. This organ is loaded with them. Every keyboard has got about 3 different trumpet stops, and then there's really pretty oboes. Let me see if I can. Here's a clarinet. Okay, here would be an oboe. Okay, over here on the Allen organ, there's a French horn. There's an English horn. A tuba. And at the beginning, you heard my favorite trumpet stop, which is this one. So you'll hear a lot of those. I'm going to try to show you as many as I can today. Also, there are some really, really great flute stops on organs. That's the other family. Let me show you something here. And then one of mine and Dustin's favorite things is called a Zimbelstern. If you've ever been to a large church that maybe has a large pipe organ, you'll see a thing in the middle of the pipes that looks like a little star, and sometimes it'll start rotating. And on the points of the star is a little bell that looks really similar to what you'd see on a cat's neck. You know, if you tied a bell to a cat, it looks really similar to that. It sounds like this. You hear it? And that you play sometimes at festival Sundays. You can turn it up and play it on the last verse of a hymn. My favorite thing to do with it is probably to create kind of like a snow effect, and see if you get what I'm saying here. You get the idea? So if you go here, you can look forward to a lot of that at Christmas. So basically, that's kind of what I wanted to tell you. There are several different organs in the Hauptwerk software. They recorded a lot of different cathedrals from around the world, and they went through and did every note like I was telling you. I've got some pictures here. I wanted to show you the organ that I use the most, and you'll see it come up on my screen a lot. Jane, can you go to that one? That's the Hereford Cathedral. So you see all the stops here on the Allen organ, and you see how it's laid out the same way. You've got your stops on the right and your stops on the left. The Allen, I counted the other day, there are 88 stops on the Allen organ. There are 67 stops on that. And then there are additionally all the stops that go up here with what I was just playing with, the bells and stuff. That's the MIDI. That's like a whole other organ that has other instruments. So altogether, with all the different things, you've basically got about 350 different buttons and stops, and there's more than that in the memory of the Hauptwerk and everything. But so it's kind of like flying a plane a little bit, but nobody's life is in danger. So unless I really miss a lot of notes, my life might be in danger. But so that gives you an idea. Did you happen to notice the trivia questions going before? Did you learn anything from that? Find that interesting? Yeah, I thought you might. So. Does anybody have any questions? Is there anything I didn't cover, maybe? No? You can ask. I don't care. Yeah. The largest organ I played, well, I've played the Calvary organ, and you probably saw a picture of that one before, the one at Calvary. It's got 205 ranks. One rank is a set of pipes, and that has 205, which is a lot. So I did get to play that one, and I've played a couple that weren't quite that large. I think they're still like the 13th largest in the world. So, and I forgot to tell you, all the white buttons between the manuals, there are so many buttons you have to have a way. Obviously, if you've got 50 that you want to pull at one time, you have presets. So any of those down here, I can preset to come up with whatever I want. And then the ones at the bottom by my feet, you'll see every once in a while I'll push a silver button down there. If your hands are really busy, hey, Sarah Watson. If your hands are really busy and you can't get to those, you can reach over and kick the corresponding with whatever you've got set on the bottom. The three pedals you see here, the first three that look like big gas pedals, well, that's exactly what they are. They're the volume of the different manuals, and they're set up different ways. The one at the right is called the crescendo pedal, and it allows you to start adding, the more you go, you add one stop. You just keep adding stops till it gets to totally full organ. You might use that on the last line of a hymn. Something, and they hear that a lot here. So, any more questions? Yeah. Yeah, it does have some. It's got some stuff like that big drum, the timpani drum. It's got some stuff like that. It doesn't have your regular snare drums. It's got a lot of bells and whistle sounds and stuff that you hear in marching bands and. Different flutes and stuff that I can add to the organ. And I'm going to play several songs. You'll hear things. And when it's more specifically like an orchestral instrument, it may be coming from there. You'll see me pushing a lot of different buttons. So you kind of know. If you see up there, that's one organ. This is another. And the little screen in the middle is what they call the MIDI voices. So the pieces I'm going to play now, the organ. Oh, I forgot to go to the next screen, Jane. This is the one I'm getting ready to play now. And you'll notice a difference in the timbre of this organ. This is called the Great Baroque organ. Not broke like it doesn't work, but So, I'm just treating y'all like my mom and dad because they would have no idea what that means. So the Baroque period of music, it's like around 1700. So that's this organ, and you're getting ready to hear that. You'll hear it has a little bit less reverb than the other, and maybe to you it'll probably sound maybe a little bit more out of tune, not in a bad way, but you'll hear it's just a total different sound, a lot more classical sounding. And I'm going to play a French piece and a Bach piece on that will be stylistically really good. That's the cool thing about this Hauptwerk. You could play French pieces on a French pipe organ. You could play German Baroque pieces on a German organ that they sampled. One more, the next one. This is an organ in Poland, and this is probably one of my all-time favorites. And I'm going to play a piece, 3 pieces later, it's a little suite of soft pieces, and it's got some chimes and French horns and stuff, and that's the organ I'm using on this one. And those are probably the 3 easiest pieces I'm playing, and probably my 3 favorite. They're really, really pretty. So, and then I thought you might want to know I have an organ at home, too. That's how this kind of all got started with me. So that's my home organ. So you can see I've got the same 2 screens, just like this one is set up, but I have one on each side that's set up like the regular organ would be. Here I just do everything through the one screen, and I've really got most of that organ in the Hauptwerk programmed that I can push a button on this organ and make it happen on that one too. So even though you don't see me pushing that one a lot, if you could see closer, you'd see a lot of lights flashing, so it would be happening. All right, any more? All right, on to the Bach and the French piece.